Yaute da, Yadu. Peace to the family, and how are you? Peace to the family, and how are you? Well, I can't even say we gonna cook today. Today the pot gonna boil over. This one's gonna be rough. So let me get all the pieces in play, and then we gonna do what we does. Wait a minute, that's the wrong button. All right, back in action. Uh, Back in action. All right, y'all. Give me a minute. I know y'all gonna be a minute. Y'all gonna be a minute, so I might as well take my little couple seconds to get it together. Let me see here. Where we at? Okay. All right, let's do it. So, it is a lot to talk about in Black America, my friend. Mau. So now, it's a whole lot of everything. We got a whole lot of everything to deal with. I really don't know where to start. Okay, well, yeah, let's start with the obvious. So, me and the Queen went to go see Sound of Freedom. And it is my strong belief that they should have named it The Sound of Bullshit. Because that's all I heard for 2 motherfucking hours. The Sound of Bullshit. They did like they always do. Fake left, pass right. They ran another fucking drill. And I felt it. And I'm gonna tell you why I felt it. I ain't gonna say I called it, but I do have 2 more predictions that I made today that I am gonna gloat over, so don't worry about it. But now, I can't say I called it because I think we might even watch the footage on here. But I started to wonder why they keep showing old footage from the 1990s of when he said some shit. Like, why was all the footage so old? And then we got to the damn movie. He didn't expose shit. Not one person is going to jail off of that. Matter of fact, the only thing he did was give warnings. If y'all got some kids in that area, take them up out of there, the movie out. Like, he didn't do any fucking thing. He made it look like this problem was something foreign. And I'm going to tell y'all why he did that bullshit. I literally just told y'all last week, United States is at war with El Chapo and them. I just told y'all that. I just said that last week. And look what I found. America must pay. El Chapo sends disturbing message from jail. Y'all think America the good guys. It ain't like El Chapo and them the good guys either, but I'm just saying. At least they actually take care of their people. Now, it takes a shitload of cocaine to do it. However, it's a natural resource. What are they supposed to do? Y'all go over there, take it, and do the same thing? Some shit. I mean, I don't know. Tomato. But I'm going to say this. It's a drug war with the cartel. They're fighting over South America. I told y'all before. That's what the Pablo Escobar shit was all about. Pablo was the only one that didn't roll over for the feds. The rest of them rolled over. Pablo said, "This our shit, you can't have it. Cut us in or cut it out." And so he went to war with their ass. He didn't win, but he fought a good fight. So now, same shit with Chapo. Chapo been beating their ass, though. Every time they run up in South America, Chapo run their ass out. So what America did is, okay, you want to play? Okay, I'm reloaded. They sent the big boys. Now they in there, it get different. So while they banging around, taking over these people's country, they put out a good ass propaganda film to make the country look like not only do y'all sell shitloads of coke, you harbor stolen children too. I don't know why Mel Gibson, the fucking racist druggy weirdo, I don't know why you was reluctant to point out that the number one hub for these activities is motherfucking America. You conveniently left that out of your punk ass movie that most of the stolen children are bought by American people. Then you use the CIA like they some fucking heroes, like we don't know for a fact they're complacent in the child trafficking shit. And of course you had your typical white savior, white guy who risked it all to find these little colored children. Get the fuck out of here. When did that ever happen? Y'all think because it's South America, it don't point to you. Those were melanated people, slightly, but they are melanated. And this is done intentional to piss on every culture except for the American culture. Now, the go-between to make all of this happen was a black woman. Well, wasn't that fucking convenient? Only black woman in the whole fucking movie, and she's the one that's alarming the children so they can go bye-bye. She serves no other purpose in the motherfucking movie. This was complete, utter trash, garbage, hot garbage bullshit. Sound of Freedom was trash, and they hustled us. They played off our emotions, and then they made a racist ass propaganda film. And he sold some money. And he had to do that because he know black folks wasn't fucking with him after he had them couple nigga fits he had live and he got caught. Nigga, 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 nigga. You love that fucking nigga, don't you? Yeah, we remember that, Mel. I thought for once you would fucking get it together, but this was just another opportunity. And then and now you're using this to as a springboard to push the Passion of the Christ Part 2. So what you gonna do? Whoop Jesus' ass for another 4 hours? That I don't even care about Christianity, and I was embarrassed for y'all. You went and watched Jesus get his ass whooped for 2 hours. It was just the ass whooping. So either way it go, fuck Mel Gibson. He did not, everybody, I'm putting to you like this, as somebody who I like disappointed the fuck out of me. Somebody who I actually listened to disappointed the fuck out of me. Because I know he the type to dig in this shit, and he captioned his thing, "The elites is running scared from the Sound of Freedom movie." That lets me know he didn't motherfucking watch it. Because ain't no way he went and watched that Sound of Freedom movie and thought that it was a elite on the goddamn planet running scared off of that movie. The whole elite aspect of it was 30 minutes of some people. They didn't even have characters that you could say reminded you of other characters. They didn't have none of that shit. Just 30 minutes of that. The other 2 hours was all through South America and melanated children. And not for nothing, but where the fuck did all those children for the movie come from? And we know how sick Hollywood is. You want me to think nothing bad happened to all them goddamn kids y'all had on set? Yeah, fucking right. You use that as a propaganda film to get your hand on some more motherfucking children. You people are sick. Fuck Hollywood, fuck Mel Gibson, and fuck anybody who liked that movie. How about that? That shit was horrendous. And it didn't do shit. It didn't help not one bit. Nobody's threatened off of that bullshit. Now, my rant is over, but that shit pissed me the fuck off. Black Dave, what's to it, God? Hey, this the perfect day for you to be here, King. We about to cook so heavy it's ridiculous. And then we going straight to the block after this. So now that was just my little rant on Sound of the Freedom. That was some bullshit. Yahoo Queen, peace, Miss Franklin. That was some bullshit. So now, but let's get to this. I told y'all, I made a couple predictions that was on point. I literally just told y'all about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. Whenever I did the Jamie Foxx shit and all of that, the Puffy and Jay-Z shit, when I did the Puffy and Jay-Z shit, I just told y'all they're coming after Puffy. I literally just said it. The thing is, Peace Queen, how many times am I going to say something radical? Y'all going to tell me it don't fit. You ain't sure if I'm right. You don't agree. Only to find out it was exactly like I said. And y'all don't even be coming back to double back on me and say, so here we go again. And I don't want you to toot my horn. That's not the point. The point is we're not going to always keep getting second and third chances. These people gunning for us. So we're not going to always have a third chance to figure it out. Sometimes you got to trust your people and move out. We ain't going to always be able to move like y'all trying to move. Y'all need 1,000 motherfucking pieces of evidence before we move. Hell no. They think a nigga did something to hang you. Why we need all this evidence? They guilty. Let's go. So now, I told y'all they're coming for Puff. Now, this one right here is intricate and it's a lot going on. But it's a dude out here named Keefe D. I don't know if y'all seen it, but it's been going viral. The feds came and snatched him up live. So now, the thing about it is this. Now, I've been watching Keefe D for a couple years, and I'm going to be honest. The new Keefe D give you the impression of a has-been that maybe never really was, and now he trying to live off the past fame or what happened with the Tupac shit. But as I get into this thing, Keefe D was the leader of the Compton Crips during the Tupac shit. Now that puts just that alone puts a whole different spin on the situation. So now, Keefe D, ever since that shit happened damn near, it's been his claim to fame. He been doing documentaries. He been on Vlad TV 100 times, which is basically a prison sentence. If you going on Vlad, you better not have done anything illegal. Because that's the only reason why you there. So he could talk about your criminal history and the feds can write it down and see if any of it matter. Some of y'all, the only reason y'all be like, I've been on Vlad, ain't nothing happened to me. That's because you fucking lying your raps and you don't really matter. That's why. All that shit you lied about in your raps, you think Vlad gonna get you, that ain't gonna get you arrested. You lying in the interview, you lying in your raps, the feds could care less about your life. But some of y'all telling the motherfucking truth and you talk too much. So now, he's telling about his connection to the Tupac thing. Now, y'all know the guy, Orlando, down south, what's happening, kinfolk? You right on time, let's cook. Now, y'all know Orlando, I think it's Orlando Anderson, is the guy who allegedly shot Pac. Now, what happens is, let's run this whole thing down. So now, Puffy has these Crip dudes on the payroll as security. And you know, Suge Knight, at the time, it's different views on that. At the time, some say he was the leader of the Bloods. Some Bloods say he was never the leader. But whoever he was, he had a lot of money, a lot of power, and he had a lot of Bloods behind him. So we'll leave it at that. So now what happens is, I firmly believe, now this is my personal opinion. I'm going to add facts in with my personal opinion, and I'm going to tell you when it's my personal opinion so I can give y'all the whole story. So now, here's my opinion. Broski, what's up, Godbody? So now here's my opinion mixed in with facts. Now, I firmly believe, and I'm going to prove it, because after this, I should have did this first. I fucked up. But after this, we're going to deal with the King Von Lil J shit. So just keep that in mind. But I'm going to run it all together like a play. So now, I've been telling y'all, the hip-hop game, especially on the high levels, is intricately wrapped in homosexuality. And I have to tell you that because adding that piece makes it make sense. Without that piece, it just leaves too many holes in it. So watch this. So now, let's go to Puffy birthday party. I done showed y'all the pictures before. You got pictures of Puffy and Pac at Puffy birthday party. Now, I was listening. Now, this is important. The bodyguard of Puffy, Gene Deal. I was watching him one day, and he brought this to my attention. So then I went to Google and looked after he said it. Now, you can Google these pictures of Pac and Puffy at Puffy birthday party. And in my opinion, that shit don't look right. I'm just going to leave it there. I don't want to do too much speculation. Just my opinion. Now, it's a picture where they standing. It's a couple pictures where they just standing like right next to each other. Then it's another picture where Pac is hugging him from the back and they face to face. Now, the reason why this matters, I'm finna show you why. So now, I never understood why this beef escalated so hard the way it did once you find out the facts. So here's a fact. Biggie Smalls is not a big-time drug dealer. He never was. That's important. That is very important in this discussion. He was never a big-time drug dealer. Watch the little movie. They showed you. He was peddling $50 rocks when he got discovered. He wasn't big time. So the reason why that matters is because of this. Now, hugging him from the back while they are face to face, absolutely. Anybody right now while we talking, y'all could Google that picture. I've already put it up a couple times, but y'all could Google that picture. Now, everything you see in hip hop is symbolic and ritualistic. So I'll put it to you like this. When certain pictures get put in certain places, it's intentional, even though they'll tell you it leaked. No such thing. Now, just follow me for a minute, y'all. So now, this would explain Pac and Biggie used to hang out a lot, but Biggie wasn't really that relevant. Biggie was more Pac little guy. Pac was on the major scene at the parties with Puffy and them. Biggie wasn't really a factor. He was in the background. Pac was on the come up. So you're going to see at the parties, mostly you're going to see Pac and Puff and Biggie playing the background. That's important. I had a lot of pictures of that. Now, there's an altercation. Two things. Pac gets shot. But before Pac gets shot, somebody else gets shot at a party. And now, this whole time, Pac is partying with Puffy and them. He kind of leaning towards Bad Boy. Suge Knight been trying to get Pac before he got him. He been trying to get Pac. The only reason why he got Pac is because when Pac got locked up, he didn't have no more money. And Suge had a beef with Bad Boy already. So Suge got Pac out of jail for the sake of coming at Bad Boy. Pac wanted to come at Bad Boy because of what I just told you. So now look at it this way. Now, before he go to jail, he got shot. Now, with everything we just learned, if Biggie is only a local drug dealer and Pac is the one bringing remember, Pac said, I used to let you sleep on my couch. Junior Mafia was nobody. I used to beg women to let you sleep in their house. Listen to what Pac is telling you. So Pac is telling you Biggie was a nobody. So then how is Biggie getting to these major events? Pac was taking them. So now, when Pac gets shot, why the fuck is his main focus on Biggie? Now, it's important to keep in mind, you can go back into the archives and look at the history of somebody called Andre Durrell. That's the guy who groomed Puffy and brought him up in the business. Andre Durrell is a well-known homosexual, and it's been rumored for decades. Couple things. He done fucked around with a lot of them little boys on his label. And you can literally, Andre Harrell, my fault. Thank you, God. You could literally look at the beginning of Andre Harrell's career and see the allegations and rumors about him and Puffy in relationships, going out to dinner together, hugged up and shit like that. I think it's the picture with the two guys in pink, him and Puffy. They got a lot of pictures together. So there's a lot of allegations about this relationship. We know. So this just is adding validity to what we already know. Puffy likes men. It's no secret. It never has been. It only is to the public. So now, we just now hearing about the mansion parties in our generation, so we think this is something that just started. No. The mansion party is the grooming quarters. It's always been that way since the beginning. So, Pac was at all of the mansion parties. We can't start acting like we don't know what the fuck that means because we talking about Pac. So now, there obviously is whatever it is, there's a very close relationship between Pac and Puffy. Now, when Pac gets shot, why the fuck is he so mad at Biggie? Why does he got all smoke for Biggie when Biggie's a nobody? So the only person Pac should really be mad at is Puffy. Unless he mad at Biggie for something else. So we just gonna leave that for a sidebar. Now, at a party, when you just saw the pic, okay. So now at a party, one of Suge guys gets shot, and that's when he basically declared war against Bad Boy. Now, when Suge get Pac out of jail, it's basically he get Pac out of jail to ride on Bad Boy because one of the Bloods got shot. So now, soon as Pac come out, what is he on? He on Bad Boy heels. And it's all about beefing with Biggie. For what? So now, you look at what happens when the bodyguards say, both of these bodyguards tell the same story. At the BET Awards, Pac and them showed up that night. Puffy took off running. After Puffy took off running, Pac and them kidnapped one of his guys and beat the dog shit out of him. Try to beat him to death, trying to get Puffy mama address. Puffy get the phone call. But first, at the BET Awards, when he had to run, and they went back and met at the hotel, he said it out loud, and there's several witnesses. But he was talking to Gene Deal, who was his bodyguard. He said out loud, and we have several witnesses, I don't give a fuck if both of them gotta die and he gotta go to jail. I'm tired of living like this. Puffy's exact words was, I don't give a fuck if both of them gotta die and he gotta go to jail. I'm tired of living like this. He get the phone call. They beat his guy down to the death looking for his mama address. So he book yeah, please hit the like, please hit the share. We cooking heavy tonight. Now, he book a show out in Cali, and he fly out there, and he book a meeting with the Crips. Now, this is where Keefe D come in at. Keefe D was the leader of the Compton Crips at the time. So they had a mutual friend, a dude named Zip. Puffy called Zip. Zip called Keefe and put Puffy on the phone. They set up the meeting. So they come to Puffy's show. After the show, Puffy meet up with them. And he tell Keefe D he want Tupac dead for $1 million. Exact words. And the million was the price he threw out there. So he said he want Pac dead for $1 million. So now, when this where everything get weird though, because this where they slip the overlay for the underplay. Because all of this, they want you to think that this is street shit, but this is bigger than street shit. Because y'all don't understand, and I'm about to bring this full circle and show you just how important the mansion parties are. The mansion party, without the mansion parties, you cannot have the music industry that you have now. When you see all of this wicked shit, all this LGBTQ shit, all of this transgender, all of that shit, without the mansion parties, it wouldn't be going this smooth. It's understood that the mansion parties is a rites of passage. So until you get invited, you're a nobody. If you haven't been invited to a mansion party, you're nobody. Once you get invited, it's like a badge of honor. Oh, I got invited. This is the biggest event in Black America. So now, when you get there and you don't cooperate, you probably don't get that call again. But when you walk in, it's Freaknik on steroids. You might see your favorite actor kissing a boy in the middle of the floor. Stallone might come in dressed like a goddamn woman and don't nobody say shit. You looking like, is that Stallone? They like, don't look, just keep it moving. That's what he do. It be shit like that at these mansion parties. And this is why Cat Williams got in so much trouble. Y'all thinking, why did he almost lost everything over that? Because you're not supposed to tell what's going on in there. So now, at this party is where they groom the next entertainers and make sure they with the shits. Everything you do at the mansion party is going to be secretly taped. No matter what room you dip off into with that little boy, it's going to be on tape. The bathroom, ain't no privacy nowhere there. The closet, all that shit on camera. So this is why the mansion party is so important, because it's the blackmail spot. All your dirty secrets, you play ball, all of your dirty secrets stay there, and you can get as dirty as you want it to get. Ain't no limit to the weirdo shit you can request at the mansion party. But if you don't play ball, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Everything in your career just gonna shift. The phone calls ain't gonna come, the dates ain't gonna get made, shit like that. So now, back to the get down. I just had to let y'all understand how relevant that is. So now, like I say, when Pac come out, he came out to ride on them. Now, the whole thing is this right here. When the Vegas situation happened, peace to the God, I see you, King. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. What really kicked the shit off was after they chased them from the BET Awards that night, Puffy put 50 racks I got 50 racks on anybody who could bring me a death row chain. So Puffy playing gangster. Remember, y'all remember his father, Melvin, was a straight gangster. So Puffy not know somebody who won't push the button on you. He got money and power. He will push the button on you. So now Puffy say 50 racks, anybody give me a death row chain. This where Orlando Anderson come in. Orlando Anderson walking through the mall with one of the Crip dudes, and they see one of the Blood dudes with the death row chain on. They beat him down and snatched the chain. That was the problem. So now they take him back and tell him, now Pac heated. You know, y'all know he hot-headed. He heated. What? We gonna ride on this? But it's like, Pac ain't really a gangbanger, but he down for action. It's a lot of stories where it's a story where him and Tress got into a fight with a whole bunch of gang members, and they say Pac was banging and he didn't run. Little bitty ass Pac was banging, just him and Tress. So he ain't scared, but he not really a gangster. So he don't understand like the level you playing on. You're kicking off wars with the leader of the Compton Crips, and I just don't think he understood the magnitude of that. And then plus you got Suge who wants some get back for his guy, so he's egging it on. So now what happens is this what don't make sense though, because now fight night for the Tyson fight, dude, Puffy get dude them 50 tickets to come out there. Now dude say, Keefy D say they didn't go out there for Pac. The 50 tickets was for something else. I forgot what the 50 tickets was for. So he owed him 50 tickets for something he did. So he didn't go out there for Pac. That's what they say. But now let's go to the flip side. On the flip side, Suge Knight has made it mandatory everybody leave their weapons tonight. Now, another thing, this is another piece to it. Pac is obligated, they going to the 662 afterwards. But the reason why they're going to the 662 afterwards is because Pac is forced as a tenant of his parole. He has to do a charity event at the 662. Now, it was supposed to be in California. For some reason, unbeknownst to Pac, it got mandatorily moved to the 662 in Vegas. So now he's got a mandatory performance at the 662, but his probation and parole is in Cali. Okay, he like, whatever, we going there for the fight anyway. How convenient. Now, what's the 662? The 662 is a spot that Suge Knight on the low trying to buy. And he made it mandatory, no weapons that night. So the whole security team was told to leave their firearms. Now, when Pac got out of jail, they took an undercover and stuck that undercover on the inside the death row security detail. So one of their security guards is an undercover Fed. And now, I don't think Pac know this. As far as I know, he don't know this. So now, when everybody is told to leave their weapons, Pac can't, the dude who's the undercover Fed, he refused. So him and Suge get into it. Or him and whoever get into it about it. So they relocate him somewhere else where the action ain't gonna be. And he the only one with a firearm. Now, all of that shit is way too convenient. And now you got the gang members who said they wasn't going out there to kill Pac, but Puffy had already gave them the green light. If y'all whack him, it's $1 million. So it's already, the order's already out there. So now that night, now that's another thing don't make sense. You know Pac and them at the fight. Now, why is Orlando, the guy who snatched the death row chain, why is he sitting in the lobby, standing next to a security guard all by himself? Just standing there. Now, the people he was with all had went to the bar and told him to come on. He didn't want to go to the bar. He just stood in the lobby, and when you look at the footage, he's standing next to a security guard. And then conveniently, the guy who he jumped at the mall tapped Pac and like, that's dude who took my chain. Soon as Pac see him, Pac take off. Go over there, and that's what, when y'all see him getting stumped out in the MGM Grand. But ain't all of this shit too fucking convenient? Then after that, that's when Keefe D said they met back up at the hotel and they made a decision they was going to take out Pac that night. Because the dude Zip was there. And Zip was like, well, shit, this is a good time to cash out on that other thing. So then, and conveniently, Zip, the only one had a gun. They said they didn't take no guns out there. Zip, the only one had a gun in the stash box. It's a lot of fucking conveniences in this story, I tell you. So when Pac gets shot at the intersection that night, the guy Keefe D been telling a story for all of these years that Orlando Anderson was in the back seat with another dude. Somebody else was driving and he was in the passenger seat. Keefe D say Zip gave him the pistol out the stash box and he passed it back to Orlando. Orlando leaned out and shot Pac. That's the story that was told. Is this the same Orlando that just got stomped out in the goddamn lobby? So 4-5 dudes down there blacked him out in the lobby. And this the guy you gonna trust with the sturdy hand for $1 million? Because if you miss right now, who says you're gonna get another chance? So we can't miss tonight. And we're gonna trust the guy who just got stumped out, who more than likely, the way they was putting them gators on his ass, I really doubt if his hands wasn't goddamn it. So we not buying that. And that's what the feds is saying. The feds telling Keefe D, they told him, see, the problem is Keefe D got caught on a PCP drug charges. And so the feds say, you come clean about the Pac shit, the drug charges go away. He was facing like 35 years or some shit like that. So then he said, I tell you everything. They said, as long as nothing you say checks out to be a lie, you won't get charged for nothing you telling us. Listen to the contingency. As long as nothing you says turns out to be a lie, you won't get charged for nothing you telling us. So now, you got a couple things. Before Orlando Anderson died, he did an interview and said he think he the scapegoat for all of this. Orlando Anderson said he never shot Pac. After he died, his uncle Keefe D put it on him. But you could hear Keefe D. What was tripping me out was how he was so nonchalant about killing the biggest rapper on the planet. Like, he ain't got to be your favorite, but we all understand the importance in our culture of the biggest star on the planet. So to have this thing where you were just like, the way he was talking about killing Pac, like shit. He was closer, so he did it. But if it was on my side, I would have did it. Shit, I don't have no problem with it. He just didn't give a fuck. And so now the feds seized his computers. He wrote a book, and he been doing all these interviews. So the feds took all this paperwork, all his computers and everything. Now the thing come up is they're looking at him as the shooter. So they no longer believe the script he ran about your dead cousin being the shooter. Now this is in poker, it's called the squeeze play. Because if you didn't believe that, it's been 20 years. You're just now realizing you to believe something he told your ass in 2008. He gave that statement in 2008. That was 15 years ago. So something else going on. Now I'm finna wrap this up so we can get on to the other shit. So now, here's why I told y'all the mansion parties are so relevant. When I was talking to y'all about the Puffy thing, and I quote, I say, I feel like they might be getting tired of him, but they need a replacement, and I don't know who their replacement gonna be. So I don't know if they gonna get rid of him yet. Now, anybody who was listening gotta remember them was my exact words. And then that shit just hit me mid-conversation. Fuck, duh. We keep looking at shit not knowing what we looking at. A picture just went viral. A little baby in a mammoth. That, y'all know that's that man sandwich, that mammoth. They had baby in a mammoth. And the only thing we was focused on, it's crazy how all we focused on was the man sound, the mammoth. That's it. It went viral. Baby is in a mammoth. Ooh, and then it's the whole world just talked about that. But they chose an all-white party to do this. White is purity and transformation. So now, what's pure and what's about to transform? Well, you know they always think white is right. So now, this dude who threw the all-white party, I told y'all, he is the owner of one of these basketball teams. Now, for the last 2 years, he been glued at the hip with Meek Mill. That's the guy who had Meek Mill doing bunny hops on the tennis court and shit. Tell him you got your ass beat, Meek. Tell him you got your ass beat. Tell him why you're doing bunny hops. That was the tennis guy. Now, what he's been doing while he's glued to Meek Mill, he's meeting all the rappers, throwing little parties, having Meek invite his buddies over. And what has happened is, guess who's the new party scene? Because at that all-white party, Puffy wasn't there. Why? Every other black celebrity was there damn near. Why Puffy wasn't there? It's the competition. They're done with Puffy. They're always looking for a white replacement. It just hasn't been possible until goofy ass Meek Mill allowed them in. So now they can have a white guy do what you do, which means they can slowly slide more white guys in. So Puffy's about to get replaced by the basketball guy. That'll be the new party scene. That's my prediction. They either gonna lay his ass down or he gonna fade out. Now, I think because of how much service he's done for them, they might allow him just to fade his ass out. But if he don't want to bow out gracefully, his ass going to jail for the Pac murder. Because the last headline that I just had, damn, I didn't even grab that motherfucker. But it says, basically the feds are looking at Puffy now. It was a headline. This was a news headline. This wasn't no motherfucking regular YouTube channel. So the walls are closing in on take that. And you're going to have to take that. Now, briefly, just to add credence to the last thing, I keep telling y'all, this is a homosexual male cult. You're not becoming a household name if you don't like men. It's not going to happen. I know y'all don't like to believe that, but how many times y'all got to keep seeing? Now we got King Von. Here we go. Here go your boy.
Footage from 2017 of King Von has surfaced. In this video, Von tells cops he wants protective custody due to his sexual orientation. However, he did this to avoid being around his ops, which many think he was scared, but honestly, he was playing it smart.
So because of your sexual orientation, you're requesting protective custody, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. I get along with, the strict people and then problem over there. They got a problem with me. I don't never start no. Bye, little Josh. I'm gonna you too.
Oh, handcuff him and get his ID so we can take him downstairs to start the PC process.
Later on in the footage, the cop says Vaughn didn't want protective custody and he was moved across the hall. However, many will argue him being interested in men was a no-go, but Vaughn did whatever he had to do to avoid his opposition.
So that's the thought they want y'all to. He did what he had to do to avoid his opposition. Well, let me explain something to y'all. I've been to Cook County before. Cook County police ain't that fucking stupid. Are you kidding me? They know who the fuck King Von. You think they know who the fuck King Von is. Period. He's the number one motherfucking rapper in Chicago at the time. The police know who the fuck he is. Soon as he come to jail, they know who he is. They're saying he trying to avoid his ops. Listen, he got money and power. That works in Cook County. The first thing they ask you is what gang you're in, and you better not fucking lie. So if he's saying he in protective custody, why he couldn't go with his guys? Why he couldn't go with the BDs? Why the fuck you need protective custody when they got a deck for every gang in there? You got a BD deck, you got a Vice Lord deck, every gang in there got their own unit. And if you got some money, definitely if you got King Von type of money and his type of connects, they supposed to have that ready for him when he got popped off. I went to Cook County coming from Wisconsin. People never heard of me. Asked me who I was, I told them. Asked me what gang I was in, I told them. They went right on the phone and called my people right there. And if my people had said anything other than what I said, they'd have stuck my brains out. So I know this to be facts. You can get accommodations. If I don't know shit else, in Cook County Jail, and you got a couple dollars, and especially if you in the mob, you should be able to get on the deck with your people. If you can't, then I don't know what that is. But I'm not finna play homosexual. Talking about sucking no dicks and all that. We not finna play that game. Especially not when you out here talking all this gangster shit. Out here, you straight killer head, bust a King, Von, run the street, all this type of shit. You get in there, and the only way you can be safe is to pretend to be a homosexual? Yeah, well, it could be a play. Could be. I'm not going to hard step it, but I know a lot of shit don't be adding up to me. Me and no other grown man not finna wear no matching jerseys. No matching Calvin Klein shirts and shit, me and my guy. The fuck? They didn't do that shit in the 90s. They did that in the 2000s. Grown men don't wear matching outfits in the 2000s. Fuck out of here, man. Y'all just make excuses for people you like. What's your excuse for this dude? This the dude, King Lil J. He's in jail, just so we clear. So those pigtails, that's not a woman sitting on his fucking lap in the middle of the day room for everybody to see. The guy's walking up, chopping it up with him while he got whatever that is sitting on his lap. Now, we don't even got to watch no more of that. Now, I forgot to get the other one. There's another one with a completely different transgender that he choking on. Walk through the day. Now, what business do I have choking? He called the transgender don't come, and he walk up on it and start choking him. The transgender walked to the bubble to call the guard. The guard pull him in and ask him what's the problem. And he say he got mad because he told me to come here and I ain't come. Fuck out of here. So what is this? You can't be on him being famous. They are going to put him in PC anyway. If they was gonna put him in PC anyway, he shouldn't have had to play homosexual. And you can't be on count and be in PC. You definitely fucking can't. Why does he even need to go to PC? This is King Von. He run the fucking streets. He out there bodying everything. They got a mob of hitters. Why does he need to go to PC? Where his people at? Shit ain't adding up, bro. But you could look at the behavior of these dudes. Y'all don't see it because you get mesmerized by this culture. But when you start looking at the behavior and the mannerisms, it's not that hard to tell. But either way it go, this is you're right. I'm just saying it shows how much suspect. Yeah. Absolutely, God. This just go to show you these dudes do not be what you think. And we're gonna do a whole show on that whole. It's a name for that. This King Von behavior, this Lil J behavior, this behavior that you seeing from the young black youth. That it's a reason for that. And in about 2 weeks, we're gonna break that whole thing down. I just thought about what I'm gonna do. So now we're gonna get off of that. I just wanted to just because we had dealt with that and just to deal with the Pac thing a little bit because I didn't know if y'all was hip to it. So yeah, they're reopening the Pac investigation. Now keep in mind, and the reason why I equate them finna pinch Puffy is because they already knew this information. Why they bringing it back around now? Coincidentally, they bring it around at the same time, but show you how calculated they is. Didn't they just show us the Tupac movie first? They had a Tupac special first. They had to get you back interested in Tupac, the case, and the whole scenario. They had to get, because nobody gives a fuck. This generation is so far removed from that. So they had to bring it back to you. So they gave you a 3-day Netflix special, and the whole world watched it. Now you back in that mind frame. Now here come the case. See, that just show you that somebody other than these gang members they're blaming is behind this. So if the gang members ain't really behind it, what are they really doing? They're setting up the play. Now Puffy name coming out. What are they really doing? Letting him know, boy, your time is up. It can't be he did shit wrong. He do everything they fucking tell him. But he do talk that black shit. He a couple days before this, they announced the raid on Dude House. The day after, I think, after he announced this all black Wall Street shit he finna do, which it looked like some bullshit, but he announced it. He want more opportunity for black people, more business and all that shit. Soon as he announced he finna launch that site, the next day they raided Dude House. So I think the days is numbered on Puffy for whatever reason, and they bringing it all together. But my point is, all of the information they're bringing to the forefront, they already knew. So why are they really doing this? It's something else going on. It's always something other than what you see going on, because they already knew this shit. So that's my take on that. Now we got to deal with something else. Now your boy Obama we gonna deal with. Now I've been telling y'all this dude is a piece of shit, and because y'all just as racist as the white people you get mad at for being racist, y'all can't see it. So it is because of that sheer fact I had to come out and spank certain black folks that y'all like and make me look like the enemy just because y'all won't pay attention to him. So it's Obama turn again. I done gave his ass so many oops upside the head, it's ridiculous, but y'all don't pay attention. So now we got what we got. Hold on, what we got? We got Obama chef drowns near their Martha's Vineyard home. So now before y'all get to making all these Rudy Poot ass excuses, the man drowned in 8 feet of water. A midget damn near can't drown in 8 feet of water, bro. 8 feet of water. Now, ain't none of us 8 feet tall, but you jump up and grab something. How do you drown in 8 feet of water, bro? So, this goes back to the whole thing where we keep telling y'all, this shit survive off sacrifice. That's one option. There's another option. She might have seen old Michael in his skivvies. She might have seen old Michael in his skivvies, and is that a penile region? I mean, I'm sorry for y'all that is protective over your commander in chief, Michelle. He might have accidentally caught the first lady in her skivvies and saying that thing. Like, I'm telling, but I don't know. This is all speculation.
Service is closed.
Oh no, that's not who I'm looking for.
Pope Francis.
Damn. How did I not send the one thing I really knew I was gonna send? Oh my God, I really needed this. Y'all gotta go look this up. Now I'm mad. Fuck, I had this for y'all. Y'all gotta go look this up, especially for down south. You can't swim, but in 8 feet of water, you ain't gonna fucking drown, I promise. It's 8 feet of water. Jump on the ledge and pull. It ain't that deep. 8 feet of water ain't that deep. No adult has ever drowned in no goddamn 8 feet of water unless somebody was holding their head under, counting bubbles. But for all my CMB brothers that are in attendance, I know the beginning of our relationship started real rough when it comes to the whole Obama scenario. So y'all are prone to not believe things that I say about Obama. I had such a nasty clip for y'all, and I didn't upload it, but you can find it right. It's brand new. It's from 2 days ago. Look up Jason Whitlock Obama. Jason Whitlock is a black dude who's got an extremely popular show, and he's on record saying everybody knows Michelle is a man. Y'all don't believe me because I'm a nobody. But maybe if you believe somebody with a couple million viewers, that is, his views get respected all the time. And he's always looked at as somebody who goes against the grain with these people. And he said the same shit I be saying in front of like a million viewers. So anyway, for the Obama apologists, I had told y'all once before that I had some information pertaining to him and his coke fiascos. And so I couldn't find it at the time, but I found it now. I told y'all Barack Obama, his boat called Lady Michelle, got caught with a bunch of cocaine on it. Now, that was the only part I knew. I did not know that he took the federales through a high-speed chase to get back home. They tried to pull Obama over. He hit it. The ex-president ran from the feds and came back. And guess who he went to? He went to Warren Buffett. Apparently, Warren Buffett is the fixer. Whenever any of his crooked ass friends got problems, he's the fixer. So he went to Warren Buffett to get a pass so he can get out of Dodge. So now you ain't got to take my word for it because you ain't gonna anyway. Wait. What's that? Oh yeah, no, that was the thing about the new Black Wall Street shit Diddy was trying to do. But here we go. No, that's not it. Wait, here we go. Let's walk before we crawl before we walk. France refuses FBI request to interview Obama over drug bust linked to Lady Michelle Vessel. Ha! A sobering foreign intelligence service report circulating in the Kremlin today states that France's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Development has refused a request by the Paris legal attaché of the United States FBI to interview former President Barack Obama, who fled to the French Polynesian island of Tahiti while being pursued by investigators from the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network of the U.S. Department of Treasury, seeking to interview him about one of the largest drug busts in American history, occurring in the Caribbean aboard a fishing vessel named the Lady Michelle. 4.2 tons of seized cocaine worth an estimated $125 million from the President Barack Obama linked fishing vessel named Lady Michelle on February 16th, 2017. That was only 5 years ago. How come y'all don't know about it? According to this report, beginning on the 10th of March, President Obama fled from his home in Washington, D.C., using an over 9,600 kilometer escape path. That's 6 miles. That brought him first to New York City, where he met with his private attorneys. So the first thing he did was hit it to the lawyer's office. Then to California, where he met with American tech titans. Then to Hawaii, where he said goodbye to his wife and family. Finally ending up in Tahiti under French government control that is nearly impossible to extradite anyone from. And the citizens are urging him to run for the next French president. Now, while Barack insane Obama was running from the feds, trying to get away from the dope charges, here's what the United States media told you. Barack Obama and Michelle vacationed in Tahiti. Tahiti television station TNTV revealed photos of Michelle Obama paddleboarding while Barack swam in the Polynesian lagoon. So he was on the run from the feds, but the media told you he was vacationing with the wifey. Isn't that special? See, now all of this falls under tonight's title: The Hypocrisy of Democracy. Now, we also are going to deal with you said Whitlock is considered a bootlicker for white supremacy. Exactly. So if he's a bootlicker for white supremacy, why is he saying what he said? My only point was, this is something that people act like shouldn't be said. It's some big conspiracy theory. How is this conspiracy theory reaching mainstream? Because Joan Rivers told you Michelle Obama was a man, then she came up dead weeks later. So the only thing I'm saying is the shit that y'all say I just made up is actually circulating in a lot of other places. I think if you on mainstream media in any shape, form, or fashion, I think you're a bootlicker. I think if you're a professional athlete, you're a bootlicker. I think if you're a professional entertainer, you're a bootlicker. Because don't none of them bitches come tell us the truth. So you're right. But I wasn't really using him as a source. I was just kind of really, I think it's funny that it's coming out now, because it's going to have to come all the way out. It's going to come all the way out. Now, let's look at all of your let's look at your last 5 or 6 presidents. We could start with Reagan. If you go with Reagan, I don't know who was right before Reagan, but if you go with Reagan, now Reagan had the Iran-Contra scandal where he basically created. She looked dead when she said that. Well, she was definitely dead after she said it. And her daughter went national and was on TV and everything saying they killed my mama. She did it was the Kanye mother shit. She went for face surgery and never made it out. Damn, y'all made me forget what I was finna say. What the fuck was I talking about? So Reagan, Iran-Contra scandal, created the crack cocaine and gave it to Black America. That's what Ronald Reagan, and it was a scandal. Shit went public, went viral. Okay. Right after him, you had George Bush Sr. BP oil spill. They spilled a whole bunch of oil into our motherfucking oceans. And then, as a result of that, was the beginning of Desert Storm. So the start of us raiding the Middle East and started with Bush Sr. So after Bush Sr., we get Clinton. He got famous off of incarcerating Black men in Alabama. Then he somehow convinced us that he was our first Black president. And then right after that, he got caught getting a blowjob, which I guess they figured if y'all want him to be one of y'all, we'll make it fit. So that's 3 presidents in a row. Now, Bush Jr. comes. Twin Towers, 9/11. He's accused of being in collusion, him and his family, with the whole thing. Okay. Another scandal. Right after him, we get Trump. Insurrection, which in my opinion, he's the only president that ever really told the truth, but either way, another scandal. Now Biden. His son got caught smoking crack with underage women on several occasions on camera. It's on tape. We got the footage. Then somehow, mysteriously, that laptop goes missing. And now there's this thing where Biden has taken $5 million in bribes. And then when I tell y'all the presidency is rigged, y'all tell me conspiracy. I just named the last 5 presidents. All of them was enormous scandals. Not one of them spent a day in jail. This is the hypocrisy of democracy. 5 enormous scandals. Not one of them spent a day in jail. Not all of them still do public speakings and get standing ovations when they talk. All of them still do public speakings and get standing ovations. They get to put out books and become national heroes. And I was full-blown anti-Biden, screaming to the high heavens, don't trust him. Y'all went to war with me, told me I was crazy. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. So y'all voted for him, which it was going to happen anyway. They just need to trick you to make you think you was in charge. He was going to get it anyway. He's somebody dumbass drunk uncle.
Post now reporting that Ginny Thomas, the conservative
activist
and fire.
Wait. Later for that. We're gonna fix old Clarence Wagon in a minute. Let's deal with this real quick.
The White House cocaine investigation without finding a suspect. They say no cameras, no fingerprints. The agency is blaming insufficient FBI lab results and claiming that surveillance video was unable to provide any investigative leads. The Secret Service also telling lawmakers that small amounts of marijuana was also found at the White House on 2 separate occasions back in July and September of last year. Joining me right now is Tennessee Congressman, member of the House Oversight and Foreign Affairs Committee, Tim Burchett. Congressman, good to see you. Thanks very much. So the Secret Service, it's interesting to hear that there's absolutely no fingerprints on the cocaine bag and there's no camera in that area.
Yes, ma'am. It seems like this bag of cocaine has legs. You know, it was originally reported in another area, and now it's found in this area. And you know as well as I do, Maria, that you walked through that entrance many times, I'm sure. You don't go in there unless they have your Social Security number. They know who you are. And it's just a complete capitulation. That's why I walked out in disgust. First of all, they said the meeting wasn't secret. They should have been giving the briefing to the press and let you all chew them apart. Instead, they gave it to 15 other congressmen. And the odd thing was they gave the same briefing to the president and the White House prior to that, so they could arrange all their, what they were going to say to the press, I guess you could say, and or not say to the press, as the case may be. And the whole thing just stinks. They don't have a key to the locker that it was found in. They're, oddly enough, that's where there was no camera view. And now they say they destroyed all the DNA evidence, and what they don't say is they destroyed all the DNA evidence because apparently when they went in and got the bag, they treated it as a biological entity and for some reason destroyed it because, to me, it just seems like they would go in there with the hazmat suits on, put it in a protective bag, take it to a lab for analysis, but instead, apparently, they blew the thing up. It's just a complete joke and a nightmare, and it really looks bad upon this White House, the Biden family again, and our Secret Service, which is unfortunate. I felt sorry for the men that were having to make that report to us because you could tell that they were a little bit uncomfortable about it.
Well, I don't understand the idea that it was in a locker. We don't have the key to the locker. Whose locker was it?
That's another thing we don't know, and that's the whole ridiculous thing about this. You know, you have surveillance cameras, Maria, showing people coming in, ingress and egress, of course. You know, if this were to happen when I was the mayor of Knox County, we would know. We would know pretty quick. I mean, a bunch of country boys and girls would have figured it out, and it's pretty quick. And it's just it's really, the American public's not buying this at all. They see another cover up. It's just one on top of the other. I mean, what's going to happen on Monday?
So let's go to the Oversight Committee news, releasing new information which has detailed the Biden family's influence peddling scheme, this time in Romania. The committee flagged back in May of 2014 that then Vice President...
Okay, we're going to go back to that. So I thought this shit was hilarious in the first place. Like, let me see if I could do some quick investigative work. The President of the United States sniffs hair. Not even sure if that has anything to do with this, but I feel like that's an important factor in our investigation. So we're going to start there. The President of the United States, the free world, the superpower, is a habitual hair sniffer. Now, we're just going to take that, put that over there. Okay, now, he also will get in front of crowds of black children and bring up roaches randomly and bring up children playing with the leg hair and the water under the pool. Once again, that probably has nothing to do with this fucking investigation, but I feel like these are key points that should be noted in the character assessment. All right, well, take the hair sniffing and the cockroach children playing with leg hair stuff and slide it aside. Deal with some more relevant information. Okay, the same guy has a son who coincidentally has this thing about smoking crack with underage girls. Not only does he like to smoke crack with underage girls, he likes to smoke crack with underage girls and record it for some strange reason. Now, with all of the information that we currently have, there was a bag of cocaine found somewhere where that said person and said person's son had frequently frequented. We got nothing. So that could have been anthrax. Because somehow somebody can get packages in places where the president could be and nobody knows anything. So that could have been a terrorist threat. That could have been anthrax. Could have killed everybody. Everybody dead. It's amazing the shit we let fly. like they announced they're dropping the investigation. You found a pack of powdered cocaine in an area that people have to give their social security number to enter. And you don't know where it came from. They just said it was found in a locker, but nobody knows whose locker. How the fuck can random people have a locker in the White House that nobody knows it's their locker? If these things are true, your fucking security is trash. Because that means the janitor or whoever the fuck could have anthraxed the whole building. Everybody could be dead right now. And y'all don't know nothing. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Tory changes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Ossoff. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, every day when I'm home in Texas, I hear from Texans who are deeply dismayed about the growing politicization and weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI. If you are not, every one of you should be deeply concerned about the damage being done to the integrity of the institutions in which you operate. My office hears regularly from FBI agents and from assistant U.S. attorneys who are likewise concerned about the politicization and weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI, and this is profoundly damaging to the rule of law in our nation. Last month, a whistleblower brought to light the existence in the FBI of a report, an FD 1023, in which the informant alleges that President Biden and his family members engaged in a $5 million bribery scheme during his time as vice president. Deputy Director Abate, is it true that the FBI has a report making those allegations?
I'm not going to comment on that, Senator.
And why is that?
I'm just not going to comment on information we received, investigations.
Do you owe an obligation to the American people to be candid about evidence of corruption by the President of the United States?
This is an area that I'm not going to get into with you, Senator.
Well, I understand you don't want to, and that's why people are mad at the FBI, because you're stonewalling and covering up serious allegations of evidence of corruption from the president. Yesterday, Senator Chuck Grassley stood on the Senate floor and alleged that there are 17 recordings of this informant from Burisma, Ukrainian natural gas company. 15 of them are recordings, voice recordings of him talking to Hunter Biden. 2 of them are voice recordings of him talking to Joe Biden. Deputy Director Abate, does the FBI have 17 voice recordings laying out evidence of a bribery scheme?
Senator, I would add also that we've worked with the House Oversight Committee.
Yeah, this is the Senate. We're the other side of the Capitol. This is the Senate. Do you have those 17 recordings?
I'm not going to comment on any investigative matters, Senator.
See, that's the problem. The FBI, and I've had this conversation with Chris Wray too, this is why you are damaging the institution. The American people have a right to know whether there is serious, credible evidence that the President of the United States took a $5 million bribe. And by the way, if it's false, Chairman Durbin just rolled his eyes. If Chairman Durbin were interested in the rule of law, we would have a hearing on these allegations. But of course, the Democrats don't want a hearing on these allegations. And to be clear, if the allegations are false, you know who could disprove them? Joe Biden. He could call for this to be released publicly. But the FBI is stonewalling. Would you agree?
Two things, Senator. No one's
Sure.
stonewalling. The 1023
You just said you refused to answer the
was provided
question.
in response to a subpoena.
Okay,
to the
then why'd
House
you refuse
Oversight
to answer
Committee.
my
The-
question?
The pertinent information is there, and I reject your assertion that the
Why
FBI
did you
is
refuse to answer my
politicized.
question?
I just answered your question.
Okay, so yes, you have a 1023. Do you have the 17 recordings? Yes or no?
I'm not going to get further into that.
So you're stonewalling. You can't say I'm not refusing to answer your question, but I won't answer your question.
I'm going to answer within the parameters that we operate in. here.
That's the problem. The FBI has right now an unlimited hubris that you believe you are unaccountable. You don't believe you're accountable to the United States Congress, and you don't believe you're accountable to the American people. And you are doing damage. The FBI is a great institution. When I go home to
My fault, y'all. I don't want to be misleading and have you think that I buy any of this bullshit. I think it's all ring around the rosy song and dance bullshit. And I may and it may even be that some of them think some of this is actually real. But you can't. It's why they got these two different sides, so that you can think that these sides got to struggle for understanding and agreement and all of this shit. When things are simple, the president of the United States' son gets caught smoking crack with underage girls, he needs to go to jail. If the president took $5 million that he wasn't supposed to take, why are there so many loopholes in the legal system that allows him to do this motherfucking Watusi and play games? All of this shit is smoke screen activity to keep your mind busy and keep you occupied. None of these people ever go to jail for any of this shit. Any of it. Hillary should be in jail. Biden should be in jail. Obama should be in jail. I just showed you. He took the feds on a high-speed chase for 6 miles. How is it that they can sit in front of the camera and give you this speech about being good citizens and good people, and when you look into their life, look at the level of shit you do? The people you know sold a little drugs. They might have shot somebody. These people kill thousands and take millions. But they want you to think that somehow what they're doing is legal and what you're doing is wrong. They're doing more damage on a much larger scale. And we fail for this whole thing to the point where, like, we start to get on each other for not behaving like them. Like they're so much better. When in reality, this is a whole thing they got going on. And as long as we participate, how can we end something that we're participating in? How can we sit here and say we want a better world, a freer world, a more independent world, a less biased world, a less racist world, but we participate and are complicit in all of these things that allow them to have it this way? The United States president, they said this is the most powerful country. And we just did the math. Our last 5, 6 presidents been corrupt as hell. So what does that mean? What does that really mean? Think about it. If we just ran down the last 5 presidents And all five in a row, were all engulfed in enormous scandals. What does that really mean? How can you be committing crimes on this level and expect anything from the goddamn citizens? Now, it's apparent 5 million, he probably took more than that. I mean, you can't, let's just be honest. Let's just stop with the fucking shenanigans, bro. You can't look at Joe Biden. Just look at him. You can't look at him and tell me you honestly think he didn't steal whatever money they're talking about. Let's just keep it a buck. Fuck the case. Fuck the trial. I won't play not one more clip from that bullshit because I think it's fake anyway. But do you honestly believe, looking at Joe Biden, that he didn't steal whatever the fuck? I don't give a fuck if they said it was 1 million powdered donuts. Look at Joe Biden. This Mr. Burns face ass. You really think Joe Biden didn't do whatever the fuck they're accusing him of? Whatever it is, he did it. Joe Biden? I've never had less faith in any United States president ever than Joe Biden. I'll take Reagan over Biden. Woodrow Wilson or some shit over Biden. I don't know what the fuck, Biden? Come on, man. And this bit of bullshit. When we can't look right at what we're looking at and just at least agree we're looking at bullshit, how we gonna come out of this? We argue over the bullshit that we both can clearly see. How we gonna come out of this? And now here's my thing. In the middle of the United States president being under investigation for some type of taking money he ain't supposed to,
wife of Justice Clarence Thomas received tens of thousands of dollars in hidden payments for consulting work. The Post reviewed documents that showed that the payments to Ginny Thomas were set up by conservative judicial activist Leonard Leo. Leonard Leo may not be a household name where you are, but Leonard Leo helped pick every single one of Donald Trump's Supreme Court justice appointments, as well as dozens of conservative judges with lifetime appointments to the federal bench. During a Senate Judiciary hearing this week on ethics in the Supreme Court, or lack thereof, Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse described Leonard Leo this way.
This guy doesn't have business before the court. His business is the court.
According to the Washington Post, in January 2012, Leonard Leo told conservative pollster Kellyanne Conway to bill the Judicial Education Project nonprofit. Leo then instructed Conway to give Ginny Thomas another $25,000, and the documents show he emphasized there should be no mention of Ginny Thomas in any paperwork. Never good when someone tells you not to put something in writing and then puts it in writing. Leo told the Post, quote, "It is no secret that Ginny Thomas has a long history of working on issues within the conservative movement. The work she did here did not involve anything connected with either the court's business or with other legal issues," unquote. When asked why he wanted to keep Ginny Thomas's name off the paperwork, Leonard Leo told the Post, quote, "Knowing how disrespectful, malicious, and gossipy people can be, I have always tried to protect the privacy of Justice Thomas and Ginny," unquote. Apparently, the belief that transparency and accountability for the highest court in the land are just gauche and rude. Let's bring in CNN senior Supreme Court analyst Joan Biskupic, along with the former director for the Office of Government Ethics, Walter Schaub. Joan, let me start with you. So people out there might not realize how huge a role Leonard Leo has played in so much of what the court has done, including overturning Roe v. Wade and turning the what we assume is going to be the dismantling of affirmative action in higher education. Walk us through the kind of influence he has.
You cannot overstate the influence of Leonard Leo on this Supreme Court. In fact, I've described him as someone who, once you get beyond the White House or Congress, he has had arguably the greatest effect on our federal bench. You mentioned the 3 Trump appointees that he essentially handpicked through the years. He also, every single Republican appointee on this court was approved by him one way or another, including Chief Justice John Roberts, who met with him. John Roberts probably would have been selected anyway, but He did meet with Leonard Leo. He is the consummate networker. The Federalist Society goes all the way back to the early 1980s, but it was in 1991 when Leonard Leo became a director that he began raising all sorts of money. In high school, his nickname was Mr. Moneybags. He is a terrific networker. He's very effective on what he wants. He worked very closely with Mitch McConnell, the Senate leader, in selecting people. And he was very close to Don McGahn in the Trump White House. And most recently, he secured a $1.6
Damn, I keep doing it. It's my fault. So now, they said affirmative action is being dismantled. Now, y'all know Clarence Thomas brought in affirmative action. That was part of him becoming a Supreme Court justice, the affirmative action thing. Now, affirmative action means that they could no longer discriminate because of your race, creed, or color. So if they're getting rid of affirmative action, then they can discriminate against you. But look how they played it though. Look how they played it though. They had some Asian students trying to get into some SBUs. And so they cried racism. So they made put black folks in a position where we're fighting for our right for exclusivity to keep our HBCUs. Okay, well, if we give you the right to keep your HBCUs, then we got to take this off the table where people are allowed to where people are not allowed to discriminate because of race. Because y'all want to discriminate because of race. You want the right to say, because we got an HBCU, it should only be for us. Okay, well then, as long as y'all can do that, then the rest of the world can do it. I keep telling you, all roads lead to you. So now they done used you as a pawn to trick you so they can get back to some bullshit. And they're doing this at the time where they're flooding the country with immigrants. You went from second-class citizens to third, and you're about to be fourth or fifth class. They're slowly placing you at the bottom of the totem pole. And then they're going to pull out reparations and give it to a select few. And I told y'all what they're going to do. The real world is going up in the sky. The poor people are going to stay down low, and it's going to look literally like hell. That's the plan. They're going to hit you with this fake ass alien invasion, show you your real God looks like a goddamn centipede or some shit. Move everything futuristic and more advanced like Star Wars, and they're going to destroy the ground and tell you it's toxic and polluted and all that shit. The ground level is going to be no good because it's easier to control everything up there. Less places to hide and all of that sort of a thing. Chins, what's up, King? So it's they definitely own one. And so we got to be able to peep the game as it's coming. Now, Clarence Thomas, all of this hit the fan with Clarence Thomas because his boyfriend, he got some white guy that's been funneling him money and taking him on trips and giving him gifts and financing him over the years. What the fuck is that? It's a boyfriend. Of course, they ain't gonna say that. It's just say a financer, a friend, whatever the fuck. But some white guy around about his age been taking him on expensive trips and giving him money for years. And now they're trying to say some illegit about that is going on. And now they're getting rid of affirmative action, all while putting him under the hot seat. And now the little information surfaces about him being at Bohemia Grove. So they got pictures of Clarence Thomas at Bohemia Grove, the place that every time I tell y'all about it, y'all tell me it don't exist. It's a conspiracy. Well, apparently Clarence Thomas be going to the conspiracy that don't exist. And so that means he's part of the good old boys club. And we got pictures of him that's down there in black and white, how long he been part of the good old boys club. He been going to the Bohemia Grove down there since Ronald Reagan now. He been going for a long ass time. So here's what I'm trying to say to y'all. If he's at the Bohemia Grove, then he's one of them. So all of this scandal that's coming to the forefront, it's shit that they been knew about. So why is it coming out now? That's all I'm saying. When you start looking at things through that lens, you start realizing, like, wait a minute, he right. It's not even logical for this shit to just now be coming out now. They got pictures of him with them at they club way back in the days, which means he been playing ball, which means that's how he got in the Supreme Court seat. So why they worried about money now that they've been giving him? Why is this an issue now? At the same time as the Biden thing. All of this shit is just distraction. There's no fucking way. There's no way Biden is smart enough to steal anything, first of all. Whatever the fuck Joe Biden is doing, he been doing it since the fucking 70s, and they know it. You don't just now starting to try to bust a move at 86 years old. This motherfucker is older than Jesus, and y'all think he just got clever a couple of years ago? So if he's stealing money now, he been stealing it. Why nobody cared? What made this come to the forefront now? What's going on now? I tell you like this right here. We're going to get enough of believing these fucking people are telling the truth in any way, shape, or form, in any situation. Tell you the truth for what? Why would they even want to tell us the truth? I be forgetting that's up there. Y'all damn sure don't be reminding me. I bet you. What else I have? I might have just killed everything on my list with time to spare. I had a list for y'all last. I said I was going to knock out everything on that list. I think we did it. But now, oh, no, we didn't. Look at me. Look at me. Silly me. Silly me. Silly me. This is what I was thinking, because something got to tie it all in. This would tie it all in.
Has only been in office since 2013, but has laid much groundwork for the prophesied one, world religion. Many Christians, including Catholics, have a vague feeling, suspicion, or some concerns about the new pope. Is he the prophesied false prophet? How much more time until his facade tears down? Recently, Pope Francis has signed a document with leaders of other religions about there being one world religion. I know it is hard for some people to wrap their head around the fact that the Pope, the supposed vicar or substitute of Christ on earth, would be one of the individuals who would propagate the false idea that all religions lead to God. Yet that is exactly what he does. He has also held numerous meetings with representatives of other faiths. In their attendance, he claimed to see a tangible sign of the will to grow in mutual esteem and cooperation for the common good of humanity. Believe it or not, the world is moving toward a one-world religion and toward the false prophet described in Revelation 13. Jesus said in Matthew 24, for false Christs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and miracles to deceive even the elect, if that were possible. Satan has always been bent on deceiving humanity, and he has used false religion for a millennia in order to do so. A one-world religion headquarters called the Abrahamic Family House is set to open soon. It is being done in collaboration with Pope Francis and Sunni Muslim leader Sheikh Ahmed al-Tayyib, after they both signed a global peace covenant called the Document of Human Fraternity for World Peace. The Abrahamic Family House is said to be consisting of the Judaism, Islam, and Christianity, of course not the real Christians. More clearly, Catholicism, the headquarters.
Okay. The Document of Human Fraternity for World Peace. Well, we know what a fucking fraternity is. A fraternity is entry-level secret society. It's a secret private group. So why are the top 3 world religious leaders creating a document fraternity for world peace? Now, I'm fucking offended, and y'all don't never seem to fucking be offended like I do. So sometimes I be thinking I'm motherfucking overreacting. But then I get away from y'all and I think about it, and I'm like, no, they motherfucking tripping. I'm not motherfucking overreacting. They're not acting enough. So here's why I'm so upset. Because I remember sitting right in front of this motherfucking camera telling y'all 10 years ago about some shit called the goddamn New World Order. And I said, these motherfuckers coming together, they trying to create a one world government and they gonna take over. I even broke down, I said, look on the back of the dollar. It says Annuit Conceptus Ovus Norda Seclorum. The New World Order has been accepted. Well, who the fuck is accepting it? And what is the New World Order? Wait a minute. You got a pyramid with an eyeball that's illuminated. Illumination is Lucifer. The eyeball. Okay, wait a minute. So Annuit Conceptus, we have been accepted for the New World Order. Ovus Norda Seclorum. So we have been accepted for the New World Order. Is what's on the back of your dollar. What's the New World Order? Anybody with a brain could Google New World Order and it's going to say something about the elites striving, the conspiracy, one world government. It's going to have words like that in there. But what you're going to see is elites, conspiracy, and one world government. So if people have been preaching, I could get you some shit from Dr. Phil in the 80s. Telling you about the one world government. Well, the 80s, goddamn it, it's 2023. That would be 40-some years ago. So if it was people telling you 40-some years ago that that there's a group of people who run the whole world and they coming together to take over. And y'all be arguing like ain't no such thing. And now the top 3 religious leaders said they about to come together and create a world religion. And y'all don't make the connection that this is the same shit me and other people been talking about for the last 40 years. Y'all can't connect the fucking dots with the shit in the middle. It's like you over here, you over there, and you can't get in here. Why the fuck not? What the fuck is so hard about you connecting simple fucking dots? These people say one day we all gonna come together and take over. Now, the leaders of the top 3 religions have come together and say, we about to come together. What the fuck have I been teaching for the last 3 months? For the last 2 months, I've been teaching y'all it's all connected by the same bloodline. They're all together trying to control everything. Y'all been arguing me the fuck up and down and I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, what the fuck are we seeing? The top, okay, listen to me. Let me make this simple. When you look at United States of America, it is classified as a Christian nation. When you look at most of Africa and most of the Middle East, it is classified as Islamic nations. When you're looking at Israel and all of that shit over there, and a large percentage of America, you're looking at huge hubs for the practice of Judaism. So that's pretty much the whole motherfucking world. Now, who goes against the Pope? Show me, because I haven't seen nobody tell the Pope, shut the fuck up, we're not doing what you told us. From what I seen, every time the little ugly ass Freddy Krueger looking midget come around, everybody bow down and act like they looking at God. We just watched, according to what they say, a black woman might be doing 2 years in Dubai for yelling. That's Islam. So we know they don't fucking play. You can't even, like you can barely say the word Jew and keep your life in this country. So we know they don't fucking play. So it stands to reason, ain't nobody that we know of above these three fucking religions. So when the top three religions tell you they're coming together, that means so are the fucking people they control. That's the whole world. That's 80% of the fucking world. You could look at it on the graph. The top three religions are winning by a landslide. All the other religions ain't even close. So if the top three religions are combining, that means 80% of the world is combining. Now, what were some of the goals they had? New World Order was a goal. And as a part of this New World Order, what were they going to have to do? They needed population control. And you can't even connect the goddamn dots. The homosexuals don't make children. You can't even connect the dots. So when you see the most babies, the most babies are made on the continent of Africa. Nobody reproduces more than Africans. It's the largest continent. It's got the most reproduction. So when you look at the United States and you see them steady pressuring African nations to accept the LGBTQ, and you can't make sense out of that. When you see punk ass Obama leading the charge, punk ass Obama, this punk motherfucker that y'all like, keep going to African nations, starting fights with them because they don't want homosexuality there. Why the fuck is Obama so interested in black nations having homosexuals and transgenders? But y'all can't make that connection either. Conspiracy. Yeah, I know. Whatever. That's why Michael got caught walking around with his little dangling. The chef saw it and they had to strangle him. That's what the fuck happened. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Fuck Obama. Now, we have to be able to make simple connections, family. We said we have to. So a one world religion, that is a centralization of power. Like, okay, when you go to the Islamic mosque, the motherfucker is enormous with gold, everything. When we was looking at them fucking Saudi Arabia princes and sheiks and shit like that, they be having gold limousines and shit. We can look at the motherfucking evangelists in America and we know how much money they make, but look at the Pope. This motherfucker got gold ceilings and this shit. They filthy fucking rich. They got a whole city. The Vatican is its own city with its own laws to govern it. Nobody on the planet can supersede the laws in Vatican City. Do y'all understand that? That's a religious place. No one on the planet can override whatever the Vatican wants to do. If the disciplinary acts ain't coming from the Vatican, then there will be no discipline. Do y'all understand that? What type of religious freedom that is? And we already know when it comes to the Jews, they bag longer than train smoke. So when these three combine, That's all the money, power, and resource. That's 80% of the money, power, and resources on this planet coming under one thought process. And you don't got a say in it. They've been teaching you your whole life that your religion, whether it's Jesus, Allah, Buddha, or motherfucking whoever you praying to, they've been teaching you that your God is the right one. They've been teaching you that all these other gods is dangerous to follow them because they're not your God. That's what they all teach, the same message. Now, how did they reach the space where that message now says we can tolerate each other and we want everybody else to do it? To be honest with you, I think that's what they should have did in the first place. But I don't trust it now because it's an ulterior motive. But it should have never been no separation in the first place. Why do you have the right to kill people because of what they believe in? You don't, but they did, and they have been since the beginning of this damn planet damn near. So we have to be able to recognize what they say. Y'all say game recognize game. What the fuck? If game recognize game and y'all don't never recognize shit, that means y'all ain't got none. That's why the fuck I gotta keep coming up here yelling every week. Game supposed to recognize game. So we shouldn't have to cover the same shit this year we covered last year. Most of the shit I covered last year, I covered again this year. And I ain't talking down on nobody. I love to do this, so who gives a fuck? But I'm just saying, if we try to be progressive, when we gonna start progressing? Hey, my son I appreciate it. My son be holding me down on clips and shit. Appreciate you, son. But this the whole thing though. How can we continually look at this and don't know what we're looking at? We're repeatedly, it's not like they're not even switching up the playbook. It's like every year we play the same team for the playoffs and they whoop us with the exact same play. Year after year after year, we get to the playoffs, play the same team and lose the exact same way. Same buzzer beater, same 10-point lead, same people foul out, everything the same. Come on, man, we can't keep doing that. It's common sense. They, as like I said earlier, running the play. This is the hypocrisy of democracy. They got you in a mind frame. They got you in a democratic mind frame, but you don't witness any democracy. It's the illusion of inclusion. You equate big rims and big butts with freedom. No, those are just the perks of idiocy. That's it. We have been accommodated with the perks of idiocy, and we have let that sustain us. And we don't wonder why we're not happy in relationships. We're not happy any fucking where. You put us anywhere around each other, we try to destroy each other. But we can all agree that the people in control is fucking shit up. So why we don't never deal with them? If we can look at all the signs and we can literally see, even if we don't gotta spell everything correctly, we don't gotta know all the proper terminology, we don't gotta know all the latest conspiracies, we don't need to know any of that. But we could look around and see a couple things. We could look around and see we're dysfunctional. We had a black queen that just went national for faking a kidnapping. Now people look at that, and once we found out, even me, I'm guilty. Once we found out why she did it for her boyfriend. We said she dysfunctional. She trying to keep a man. She stupid. Some of y'all don't want to do a motherfucking thing to keep y'all, man. So shit, I commend her for trying. Yeah, it was out there. It was way out there. It was bugged out. But that means she really loved that man and don't know how to communicate that. But why are we in these situations in the first place? Why do we have these mind frames where we don't know how to communicate to the person we love? We're making up things to stay in love. We're so dysfunctional. We're erratic. We're making national news just to have someone in our life. Why? This is symbolic to us as a people. Y'all act like she the first one that ever did something super stupid for love. That shit happens in our community every day. Fuck you messing with her for? Some of y'all done did the same shit, just never got caught. Some of y'all done did some bugged out ass shit to get the attention of this man or woman who ain't getting it to you. You just didn't get caught. Or you just didn't go as hard as she did, but you did essentially shit. But I think there's a bigger problem. The psychosis of black, what we call Black America, is so fucked up. She tried faking a pregnancy. She tried faking a kidnapping. She tried everything. That's a dysfunctionality amongst us. She's not the only one to ever do these things. If this was an isolated incident, I would have shut the fuck up by now. Each one of us has seen this exact same scenario at least 5 times in our neighborhood. Stop it. If you ain't seen this scenario or a variation of it at least 5 times, you're not from the hood, and stop acting like you are. Because if you're from the hood, you've seen this shit. Shit, you probably seen it. I didn't seen it with my personal experience. So we're dysfunctional people. And so it creates this thing. It creates dysfunctionality. I'm convinced it creates blindness. If you was to trace what creates blindness, you probably could, it's some kind of way dysfunctionality to have to be in there somewhere. And I'm not making light of anyone who doesn't have that sight. Please understand that. But what I'm saying is, how can we as a people see? They look at us and they know exactly what they see. Confused niggas, and we're gonna deal with them. We look at them and don't got a clue what we see. We can't agree on it. We can't agree on what we see when we look in the mirror, and we can't agree on what we see when we look at them. So how the fuck are we gonna go anywhere? If you don't know what you're looking at when you're looking in the mirror, and you don't know what you're looking at when you're looking at your adversary, what the fuck could you possibly be hoping for in this existence? You're just here for shits and giggles, which is something I'm not very fond of. They created a game for you to play and for them to oversee. And until you understand that first, that's the first nature of this game. It's designed for you to not even play. It's designed for you to play and lose. And it's designed for them to oversee the process. Because while they're overseeing the process of you losing, they're studying everything that you're doing to stay alive. And admiration and hate is taking off at the same time. Like, can't stand these niggas, but damn, they good. You're more powerful than you think. But you don't think the power's there. So how could you possibly use it? This entire planet is the hypocrisy of democracy. But I ain't complaining. That's what it was supposed to be, because this is their design, not yours. And the sooner you understand that part, I think the better off all of us will be. Knowledge is the only real power, and information is the only real currency. But the balance of both is the route to divinity. We on our way to Clubhouse. I love you. Bye.